I'm Amira.
And I'm Courtney.
And today we're going to be talking about one of the most important events in Uganda history.
The Uganda Genocide featuring Idi Amin and Milton Obote. Do you hear that?
What is that?
I think there's something on the camera. We're here to tell y'all about something that happened way back in the day. You know what I'm saying? Uganda.
Back in 71, Uganda regime, Obote is sent to prison, overthrown by Amin. Down in East Africa, they used to work alongside, hit a boat with a coup, then began a genocide. After 70 years, Uganda was free from Britain. Milton Obote got the credit, yeah, he was spin. He became the nation's first ever prime minister, till Amin joined forces and things got real sinister.
In the Ugandan army, Amin was loaded, he reached field marshal, then he got promoted, took over, Obote became the president, launched mass destruction, he wasn't hesitant. Obote's Christian tribes, the Alkoli and Longo, were Amin's main targets within his time, though Amin's discrimination made his viewpoints a miss, decimate the Asian population, cut that prejudice. Amin's means of ending life were not polite. He tortured them to death if they weren't killed on sight. And the methods were horrific that he did deliver. Yeah, chillin' like these bars finna make the world shiver. Electric shock, rape, condoya, body mutilation.
Amin didn't ban, I guess he liked the sensation of killing in civilians, of killing half of a million. He wanted all the smoke. Tell your parents, hide your children. Amin's reign of terror lasted 8 years. Hundreds and thousands were killed, the rest in tears. He left with a huge mark and he was a menace. Till 79, his exile, the man was banished. Wait!
Anyways, I think we might have cut out for a second.
Yeah, technical difficulties.
What were you saying?
All right. In 1971, Idi Amin launched an 8-year regime in Uganda that decimated 500,000 people.
Right. Milton Obote started off as the nation's first prime minister after helping Uganda gain independence from Britain. They had been under British control for 70 years, and in 1962, Obote led them to freedom. Idi Amin was in the Ugandan military and rose through the ranks, becoming the commander of armed forces at the time.
He and Obote became close and even worked together while making laws until eventually Obote questioned Amin's trust, throwing him in prison. Amin then scheduled a coup in December 1971 that ended Obote's reign and caused Amin to become president of Uganda. From that point on, he started a genocide that changed Uganda's history forever.
Amin immediately sent troops to murder and target Obote's Christian tribes, the Alkoli and Longo, as revenge for Obote kicking him out. He pretty much targeted anyone that was associated with Obote. He also targeted the Asian population due to his racist ideology.
What was so memorable about Amin was that he used some pretty messed up tactics while killing people. He was really torturous. Kondoya was the torture method involving tying a victim's hand and feet behind their backs and suspending them from the ceiling.
Liverpool or water torture involved a victim lying face up with their mouth open under a water spigot. So basically waterboarding.
Beating with metal rods, wooden bats, with nails protruding from the sides, pretty much anything you can pick up, he used.
Women were kidnapped and raped quite often during this time.
Body mutilation was a big factor.
Electrocution.
Strangulation.
Anything that ended life in a painful, slow manner, Amin most likely took into consideration.
Some even say he was cannibalistic. They say he ate bodies of his victims to gain power.
Yeah, it's some pretty messed up stuff, man. His reign lasted for 8 years until the Uganda versus Tanzania War in 1978 to 1979, which led to his exile.
What happened after his exile?
Nothing much. I think that was pretty much the end of that. Ha! You thought it was over? Nah. Run it back.
After Amin's exile in 1979, everyone was stoked, but they soon did find that a new time of terror was just around the corner. Obote was back, but the torture. Continue had to gradually get better from the trauma. Uganda was left with the scar. Go tell your mama. And right when things were starting to get less sore, launched Operation Bonanza Uganda Civil War.
Amin's rebel groups had come back for a fight. Obote had his position, but they said that ain't right. National Resistance Army versus the UNLA. ended up killing nearly 1 to 500K. Now Amin took a toll on Obote's tribes, caused them to still harass, torture innocent lives. They were undisciplined and didn't know what to do. Yeah, Obote's fighting forces had gone askew. 1986, the Civil War was over. However, that ain't stopped the torture. Some say that Obote's reign was worse than Amin's. They were both detrimental, yeah, that can be seen. So from the early 70s to the late 80s, Amin and Obote killing folks as they please. Their determination was catastrophic. Uganda genocide, that's a sensitive topic.
I guess we did leave out a few details.
Yeah. A year after Amin's exile in 1979, Milton Obote got his position back as the president of Uganda. Obote started more mass destruction immediately after his second term in office by launching Operation Bonanza.
Also known as the Ugandan Civil War, this spiked violence dramatically in 1983 by having Ugandan government and the Uganda National Liberation Army, UNLA, battle Idi Amin's rebel groups and loyalists as well as national resistance movements.
Amin's rebel group believed that the election was rigged and desired justice for Amin, so they decided to battle Obote's troops. There were hundreds of thousands of casualties as a result of this genocide, and it struck yet another period of terror in Uganda.
Since the Akoli and Longo tribes were so badly affected by the Amin's reign of torture, they were also undisciplined and scrappy. They were prone to harass, steal from, and murder innocent civilians, just as they had experienced before.
This led them to be very unsuccessful and caused their defeat to the national resistance movement. Although the war was over, the destruction of Idi Amin and Milton Obote left Uganda a broken nation. Their devastating impact caused psychological, social, ecological, and economic demolition.
Amin and Obote had a total of over 500,000 killings during this time period. This meant that nearly half of the population was annihilated, along with another 60,000 to 100,000 abducted by the rebel tribes of Idi Amin.
There was a recession in the economy due to the population decrease, and there was a great rise of disease like STDs. Almost 25,000 individuals were victims of wartime sexual violence.
The economic collapse caused long-lasting hardships and a lack of resources for Ugandan families. Poverty made it very complicated for Ugandans in the recovery process and resulted in even more deaths.
This time period took a toll on Uganda psychologically, leaving PTSD to many and creating issues involving family relationships and overall communication amongst people around them.
Obote and Amin's actions left a huge impact on society and shaped up Uganda to be the country it is today.
And that's all we have. Thank you for tuning in.
Bye.